Yeah, hello and welcome to the Banter Blitz show for Saturday 11th of May. It's a bit of an uncommon time, but I hope you're all fine to get some Blitz games going. I'm unbeaten today. Very lucky, I have to admit, but still. Let's get rolling with the first game against Rüd, 22-7-3. Alright, now I need something to drink. And oops. I had to go for something with a little bit of doping involved. I got the Grünfeld, I guess. Yeah, I've analyzed that in the last couple of weeks. I didn't analyze that. Cannot look at everything. Yeah, as mentioned at the end of the German show, I had a bit of a break because of writing, getting my new book project somewhat completed, and now I'm back for a while. The next couple of Wednesdays should be normal show times, and then early June it will be a little bit different because I'll be at the German Youth Championships and doing the main broadcast. Easy Rider, yes, it's the same thing. Now, I've played b4 and b5 here to make sure that the c7 pawn stays a backwards pawn. Oh, interesting. But I can take and play bishop a3, right? That's a bit of a drawback. Yeah. Just winning the exchange, more or less for nothing. The dark squared bishop can be quite strong in such a position. But okay, now he hasn't even played that. I thought he would take with the bishop and maybe put it onto b4. Yeah, black's bishops are not very active. The bishop on g7 in particular. Looks at d4. Okay, I'm happy to trade that. My a-pawn was a bit weak. There was a question, what's the favorite chess book is. I'm not sure if that question was directed to me actually, because could be many other people's in the chat. People's, wrong English. Anyway, I don't really have one particular book, I have to admit. There are just many that are very good, but it's not like I've got one particular book that is something that I value a lot more than others. Always think this is difficult. I also always have problems with like determining, oh, what's your favorite movie or what's your favorite, I don't know, your favorite piece of music. As there are so many things that are difficult to compare. Now, how do we convert this exchange? Let's see. Yeah, I wonder if I should simply take on c4, take on a6. I can also just take on a6, by the way. You cannot play rook a8, which would be the annoying reply because of rook takes c4. Okay. Yeah, the bishop on g2 has a good scope. Rook a7, there's nothing particularly wrong about that. I can almost pre-move queen takes f7, yeah. How is he going to prevent it? It's not possible. No, it's just over. Wow. In such a situation, you're not really thinking about what is the best move, but you're thinking about, okay, what move probably would make him resign? And the answer is probably, okay, I wanted to say no move at all. Okay, so yeah, thanks for playing root, I don't know, 2273. Okay, now, Doctor of Chess, I think, is a new opponent. Doctor of Chess now. Yeah, the process is, I mean, this is something that is maybe of general interest, how things like this work. I have finished writing the first complete version of everything. There are chapters, and we have it can be read as a book, for example, or it can be used on online platform. But there has not been any quality assurance, yeah, no quality checks, and this is really important because you have first of all the language issue. You need to look at the English language. My English is generally fine, but you still make many silly mistakes, and you also simply, when you write so much, you just have moments where you have complete brain lapses, like, okay, that makes no sense at all what you're writing, and you have to simply make sure that those stupid mistakes are ironed out, and this is what now needs to be done. Also, there has to be a quality assurance simply for the chess. I mean, every single line of a book that I'm writing is checked with engines, obviously. It's not a total given. I mean, it should be, but there are still authors who are very, I don't know, relaxed about all that. Anyway, I check everything, of course, with computers, but there still might be mistakes, or more importantly, there could be issues that a line is maybe not working due to move orders or whatever. You just have to make sure that you take care of quality issues. And this is what now happens for quite a while, like 2 or 3 weeks. And if that is done, I'm going to record the whole thing for the Chessable platform, videos and so on. And if this is finished, then the work on the print version starts. And this is yet another thing that is actually quite a bit of work, because what works in an online context does not necessarily work for a print book in some cases, and vice versa. some things just don't work online, but work in print, and you have the opposite thing also. So this is yet another step. The whole thing will be finished in about 3 months still, even though I can confidently say that I'm finished with writing, but there are still many things that have to be done. Okay, now here. Yeah, white is putting up good resistance. The bishop is kind of stupid there. Yeah, he also attacks c6. Oh my, oh man. That is very uncomfortable, actually. Okay. Weird. Queen to b6, maybe. Yeah. It's a little bit odd, everything here. Nasku asks, he's looking for an exciting opening with sharp positions. Does anybody have any ideas? Yeah, there are many of those openings. Most are bad. The bad thing about the French is that I ruined it with my book for many people. Yeah. Yeah, that's actually an interesting point. Yeah, I mean, I have this love-hate relationship with the French, and yeah. Maybe this is why I went for the exchange French for my book. Torture French players. Nazgul, yeah, the Nazgul are from Lord of the Rings, yeah. Oh, ouch! I did not expect that move. I wanted to play h5. Okay, I'd like to go king c4 and d5. I can just stay on e2 and make a draw here, yeah. Dang. Yeah. That is stupid. I didn't want to make a draw in this game, but now I have to. Yeah, he just stays on e2 and does absolutely nothing. Yeah, that was fine. Yeah, he got this back, yeah? He got the pawn back that he gave me. Played far too relaxed this game. Like, this is just winning for black, of course, but I allowed him back in the game somehow. Okay, thanks for playing Doctor of Chess. I was kind of costly. Okay, now I know. Yeah. Misfortune. She said that she prepared. So let's see what she's up to. Oh, the Dutch. Oh, the classical Dutch. Oh my, completely forgotten what I prepared there. I don't think this is good. I don't believe in knight c6. That exposes the e6 square really quite a bit. Yeah, this is true. This is true. With bishop f6, this is active for black. Interesting. Tja. Yeah, this is the thing, yeah? I somehow lost that friggin' pawn. Weird. Weird. Isn't that good for me? Maybe she just have to... Okay. No, I don't watch Game of Thrones. I watched like maybe 1.5 episodes of the first season, and it's not that I didn't like it, but as I said before on one of my shows, I have this issue that I'm simply unable to process so many characters. This is a problem that I also have in real life, that if I meet many people at once, I can simply not tell them apart, or I can simply not process all those people. Like, who was that again? And very difficult somehow for me. Was always an issue in business meetings. I was always happy when there were like 2 or 3 people and okay, this is the boss and this is some other guy and it's okay. But if there were like 10 people, I was like, oh my god, who is that? It's very difficult somehow for me. And I'm excellent with completely abstract information. If you give me like a certain name, certain person did this and that on this and that day, I'm perfect with that. Really, really good. But if you introduce me to somebody that, okay, this is this and that person, I will forget that name in a heartbeat, like immediately. And if you introduce me to 10 people, it's completely over. I have no No possibility at all. And when I saw Game of Thrones with all those different people, it was like impossible. Yeah, impossible. And just in general, I'm not a huge fan of those fantasy settings. Really, I mean, I like the Lord of the Rings. It was just so bombastic in a way. But I read the books and I liked the films, but it's not usually my kind of not my stuff. Yeah, I'm grinding this ending here against Misfortune. A little bit better here. A little bit more than a bit. Yeah, she has this king pretty offside. Threatening mate. And that's actually not a good move. Maybe just put this here. That keeps the rook passive on the 6th rank. I'm happy with the trade. King and pawn ending with 2 pawns should be fine. I completely screwed up this opening. Probably played a move too quickly there. Yeah, thanks for the game, Misfortune. Yeah, that was awful, really. Maybe I have to take or something here. I don't know. Okay. Now, that's a non-premium. Now, Talas. Yeah, we had that before. Had that on the board a million times, I feel. I still got people who stumble into that. This is not so bad for white. I had this... oh, that is bad for white. But if he wouldn't have done that, it's not so terrible. Now, what is his idea? He wants to go f4 maybe even. Interesting. How do we play that? No, there is no book about this. Yes, f4. I mean, that is definitely a risky move. I have to go here. White should definitely play f4 now. My idea was f4, bishop h5. White has to play very, very decisively. Yeah, with slow moves, you're just getting crushed. He's defending this well. Defending this well. I have to get something going here. Takes knight h5, knight g6, my idea. Now with the pawn on e5 and h4, his knights are both pretty awful. He plays well, this guy. Queen g4, trying to trade queens. Whoa! What the heck? Talas, what are you doing to me? Oh, wow. Wow. I overlooked too many things here. Yeah, Queen a7 is not a move you should absolutely not miss. Yeah. Maybe I should have played c5 actually. At least now he cannot take. If I would have played c5 immediately, he would have had the en passant capture. Something that he could have done anyway. Okay. Isn't the queen a little bit short of squares now? Or has he timed it perfectly, like b4, knight a4 stuff? Knight a4. Okay. Okay, now that's not clear. I mean, probably white is better somehow. And he keeps finding strong moves, but it's still not super simple. Okay. Really? Take, check. Check, check, check. Yeah, must be active enough actually. b4, yeah. And rook h4 next. He cannot go rook g3 because of the knight e2 fork. Okay, he plays for knight e3. So I have to. This is okay for me. I'm far too active here. King d4. King d4. He allowed too much activity. after he had outplayed me, he was just going too passive somehow, yeah. Like here I'm completely outplayed, but then he went into too much of a passive mode. Yeah, thanks for playing Talas. Okay, now Tom Petty, played him? No. I have to refresh again, it's a bit odd. What the heck? Okay, I mean, he is from the Netherlands, so playing the Dutch kind of fits. Yeah, this version, I think, of the classical is quite good for white. That is actually what I had recommended in my English series here on Chess24. Yeah, that leads to a lost ending. That's almost lost this ending. At the end, Black's pawn structure will be absolutely atrocious. Take. And now, after e4, I take on f6. This one. The line continues. e4, bishop f6, ed3, bishop e5, takes on e2. The resulting ending is just an absolutely terrible experience for Black. Oh, no. He should definitely take on d3, which is at least putting up a fight. Now you have a nice case of a knight dominating a bishop entirely. The knight on c5 is fantastically strong. I don't think I'm going to write a book about 1f4. It is quite unlikely to happen. But actually, I think it is an underrated move in some way. Black will not get the bishop out. It's just funny. Did I do something wrong there? No. I don't have a clear idea how to win. I mean, it looks completely devastating for Black. And now I can actually win the pawn. Yeah, once I've got all the keep it simples done, I should really write a make it complicated book, or a couple of them. This is not a joke, really. It's something that I thought about, like write some books that are aimed towards a very tactical play or very sharp play. I think it would be also interesting for many. Now let's play Ash. I've got mostly a little bit lower rated challenges, but Ash is a little bit higher rated. Does he have a... No, just a picture. Yeah, 1f4 is probably not great, but it's also not so bad. I once prepared for a game. It was very difficult to be sure what my opponent, who my opponent would be, but one of them regularly played, in fact, 1f4, and I was amazed to see how well he scored with it, the Polish grandmaster. And I was that was really that day when I prepared for that game. That opening gained a lot of yeah. I took it a lot more serious, what I'm trying to say, after I saw how well he scored with it. Yeah, I wonder what Ash's plan is here. How does he want to play this? I could have taken e4 maybe. I mean, after he went a4, the queen side is completely closed, so he's not going to open the game there. If I go h4 now, he can close it down entirely. It's just too tempting to get this perfect pawn structure. But how do we do this now? King to g7 probably. Knight h7, g5, queen f6, queen f4 is one thing. He always has to watch out for that pawn on a4. This is a very comfortable, not complicated, comfortable position for black. Now, knight g5 or not? Yeah, I think I should do that. One idea can also be to play bishop takes g4 and h3. Yeah, I had this, that was one of the moves that I felt was possible, but I don't mind this too much. Now I get e5. He's getting d4, but it's not so easy to exploit. I can always go queen e8, yeah, that's one remark in the chat. But I just want to grind this. That's the take now, otherwise I grab b2. Taking with the d pawn is actually not such a bad idea, even though I'm pre-moving this. Okay, now he says that I cannot take on b2. Maybe. Maybe, but I can also just play other things here. You don't have to take on b2. Shall I take this one? It's a pawn, yeah. He has knight f3, but I'm not sure. Yeah, maybe this is actually a little bit of an issue. I thought queen g3, but no. Yeah, it should be fine. I mean, he has a hard time to open this. Yeah. Or bishop h3, is that possible? I mean, it is for sure possible, but is it good? I can just take. I mean, there's nothing really wrong about it. After e5, I can still take on f3 because he's got no check. Yeah, I just take and play this position. Yeah, he can play e5. I should have thought about this for a moment longer. Yeah. It's not that this is bad, but I very likely had something better. Threatening rook takes f3 now, and rook takes c4. It doesn't really have anything great against it. I can take on d5. Or bishop takes h3 is also possible. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, maybe this one. Yeah, it looks like I've got good control here. Yeah. Now, how do we win? I've got more time, which is convenient. So don't need to go into some sort of panic mode. Now I've got everything covered, so I can start to push a little bit of push the pawns forward. Yeah, and white lost on time, but also on position. Okay, yeah, thanks for the game. Ash 1. Now, check and pate. Check and pate. Okay. I got to refresh again. And here we go. I had a free rook. It's possible. I tend to overlook stuff like that. In particular, if I've got a good position anyway. Yeah, this is one of the reasons why the double fianchetto is a good line against the King's Indian. You get this quite often, and this is a strategically really dubious position for black. I've won countless games with this stuff. The main reason why this is questionable for black is white's enormous pressure on the long diagonal. It's very difficult actually to develop the c8 bishop. The other thing is that knight c3 d5 is always in the picture, and you have to control d5 somehow. And if you play d6, your pawn is just going to be very weak on the d file. This kind of structure is, from a purely statistical point of view, a total disaster. Black is scoring nothing. I mean, I really mean nothing with this. And I'm not surprised. I've got this, again, I've had this on the board a lot, and it is just a disaster. Yeah. Okay, now, are we going to stop b5? a4 is a move I generally don't want to play. We still can do it. Complex has a good point there. Yeah, I see what you're saying, but first of all, I don't think that these lines feature heavily in club level play, in particular not the b5 lines, but I've got some ideas there. This is a cool move. Wow, okay. Quite obviously I wanted to prevent that, and I didn't manage. Okay. I think one of the, first of all, Magnus is playing just well on a general level. I mean, also in the end games and so on. He's just in good shape. But I think one point that is important is simply that he's winning with black lots of games in the Sicilian, and he didn't really have any. I mean, he didn't win many games with the e4, e5 that he usually played. And this is just an enormous difference in score if you just win with black against e4 so often. That's a huge difference. Yeah, Chubba, this is exactly what I'm doing. Yeah, I start with d4, knight f3, g3, and I'm not playing. I'm not playing c4 early on, which prevents some lines that are not bad for white, but that are just theoretically demanding. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I think why the Sicilian works so effectively for Carlsen is just my point of view, is that white doesn't have anything in the Sveshnikov anyway, which is known for a long time, that there's nothing. And what they usually do is they play the Rossolimo, and this is kind of Carlsen's, I mean, this is like his bread and butter, playing those kind of positions, which are strategically complex. And he's just fantastically good at it. So nobody grinds him down in that. And how are they ever going to win? So they try try some lines in the open Sicilian, because they think, okay, in the Rossolimo they have no chance anyway. And then in the open they just have nothing, just by a theoretical, just what it is, let's say. These pawns are hopefully as strong as they look, or even stronger. Yeah, I've given up the exchange to keep the pawns mobile. E6. Yeah. I mean, I win all the other pawns, like f4, c5, and so on. Yeah, this is true, actually. It's still a little bit of a... I need some technical precision. I'm not sure that Magnus introduced something new in the Sveshnikov. They didn't actually have... I mean, the old main lines, I think he never had on the board, really. They mostly played the knight d5 lines. And I don't know, this is just complex, but it cannot be great for white, I think. Alright, yeah, thanks for the game. Check and mate. Check and mate? Check and mate. Okay, now, time to move. I've played... I only played Cass once. Yeah, Complex says that the drawback of the Sveshnikov is that it's hard to win as black if white plays one of the old main lines, very drawish positions and so on. This is, I think, true on the pro level, but not so much if you play regular people. I think this is somewhat similar to, let's say, the martial attack. The martial is a drawing weapon on the top level, but it's not so much a thing like if you play in a club competition. When people will play into the martial, and you will probably get a good position with black. So it's not really not as relevant. But it is relevant if you play stronger players. Let's say if I'm playing first board, second board. In my league I regularly play IMs or some GMs and so on. And there can be a problem if you somehow want to win with black and they play one of those lines which are a forced draw. Okay, it's a problem if you want to win. Oh, that was an early resignation. But okay, Cass position is really bad. Thanks for playing Cass. Okay, Kozure Okami. Oh, that worked. I mean, one thing that I have to say, like if we talk about Sicilians, one thing that I think is generally important, if you want to preserve winning chances, it is a very good idea to employ the Sicilian simply because of the non-symmetrical nature of the position. And this is going to work for you even in the more drawish lines or so-called drawish lines that you might encounter. So I'm generally in favor of playing the Sicilian if you want to preserve winning chances. Even the lines that you say, like in the Sveshnikov, they can be drawish. I don't really think this applies so much if you are playing against like normal people. Nobody really, let's say, who's not 2100, 2200 and above, studies 30 moves of theory in the Sveshnikov to force a draw. It really doesn't happen. It's my experience. And on the top level, I mean, sometimes it happens. Yeah, there was a funny game. I thought it was funny in a way, because this is not a very frequently seen scenario on that level. But there was a game, a late game in the Grenke Chess Classics, I think in the last round or the one before, I'm not sure, when Paco Vallejo Pons, probably mispronouncing this, played with white against Fabiano Caruana, and Vallejo played the Ruy Lopez's Spanish 4 knights, and Caruana played knight d4, and that line is known to be very drawish if white knows exactly what to do. And it was really funny because Vallejo simply went for the draw. I mean, with absolute, I mean, just he played all the moves to go for a draw, and I just thought that was hilarious. And then Caruana was trying very hard to find something else that is not a direct draw, and he was not successful. It was a draw. All of it is, of course, known. Now, I wonder if I can do something funky here. He went into the spin. Can I sacrifice the queen maybe? It is close. Queen takes bishop takes d8. Oh, I kind of have to. Looks a bit odd though. Am I not a piece up here? Or is there some trickery? No, Vallejo didn't take on d4. That is not the thing. I mean, this is very drawish. He played a main line that leads to repetition, where you not even can try. I mean, the endgame after knight takes d4 in the 4 knights you can at least play if you like, but he went for a sharp main line, which is known to be a total draw by repetition, and this is cannot avoid it. So Caruana had to make the draw. This is also the reason when I wrote my opening for black, yeah, according to Caruana. Basically, why I avoided knight d4, but I felt that is just such an impractical way to play. You need to learn 30 moves and then you have to make a draw if your opponent knows his stuff. Yeah, one thing I know is that this bishop on d5 is rather strong. Yeah, c4 is covering it so that I never can blunder it. Yeah, computer evaluations can be problematic sometimes also. There's some discussion about various openings in the chat, and one thing that I learned when I was working on my I keep it simple d4 repertoire is that I worked quite intensely with the Lila Zero engine, this new AI based engine, and Lila has at times very drastic evaluations. The AI engines don't work with pawn count evaluations. They work with the winning percentages, and that is not possible in ChessBase to display the winning percentages. In ChessBase you only can use the pawn evaluation, and this is very funny because they try to translate the percentages into pawns, and this at times leads to hilarious evaluations. Yeah, you have sometimes positions where like white is, let's say, 2 pawns up and has a good position, where Stockfish gives us like +3 or something, and Lila gives like +90 or something. It's like winning percentage is 100%, yeah, something like that. And this is hilarious sometimes. Even in positions that have equal material, sometimes it will give like +20 or so. And you sometimes need a bit of time to fully appreciate why that is, and it's usually true. But you also see that the engine, that Lila is very sometimes very optimistic on dynamics. Yeah, somehow it's very dynamic, and you have to be quite cautious with some of the suggestions, like material sacrifices and so on. Yeah, sometimes you think, does that really work? And then you dig a little bit deeper, and sometimes Lila will be right, like it will display a very strong move quickly, and then Stockfish confirms it, but also the other way around. Yeah. There's a question. Schlo, that's a very weird name. Shlomomomo. Any recommendations against 1d4? Oh, that's a funny line. That's called Habicht, I think. I didn't even look at that in my book because it's so odd. What? Okay, let's play conservatively. That's maybe not the best move, but if I think for ages. So opening recommendation for a 1600 player, of course there's a wide choice. I tend to go for d4, d5 based lines for that level of play. I think it is good to have some classical background, and there are ideas that are not so well known. For example, like in the Queen's Gambit Accepted, for example, there are many lines that that will simply not be known by the white players all that well, and I think this is something that you can look into. but there's a wide range, and it also depends a lot what you like to play. I mean, it's not about just about results. Yeah? If you want to have like if you just look at pure opening quality, the choice is in fact rather limited. There are not many openings are not that great objectively, but you have to think about what you want from a game of chess. If you want like exciting complications, then some, let's say, a very dull line in the Queen's Gambit Declined is maybe not the thing for you. But this can be, let's say, if I'm looking at this and I want a dull, or I play a dull line in the Queen's Gambit Declined, it might be right for me because I have a strong opponent in a league game and I know he's prepared or whatnot. It's just a different kind of scenario. Let's say this opening that Black played here, this is complete rubbish, but it leads to unconventional play. So that is probably what he wants. He doesn't necessarily want to play the best possible opening. Yeah, I mentioned a lot, right? Anyway. One of the best things that you can actually do for your chess, and this is not really good for my business, let's say, is to not study openings that much. Yeah, he allowed me to play this knight d4 with a tempo that is really kind of irresistible. And now this one. Knife to f5. There's a question. What about the snake Benoni? I'm not sure. I haven't looked at this for a very long time. It was very dubious. It was very dubious at one point, but maybe there have been changes. I could have played knight c7. That's just what I recognized. Could have done that, but I didn't. Okay. Now, I have to pay a bit more attention here. I mean, it looks very, very good, but you still have to keep it serious. Take it serious what he's doing. It's a bit difficult to do, but now rook c7 maybe. Yeah. Yeah, I think most people actually, not most, it's hard to say, but many players actually have a pretty good opening knowledge, and this is not their main problem. They tend to lose the games later. Yeah, they lose the games later by not calculating right, by making strategic misjudgments, whatever it is. There are so many things that you can do wrong in chess, and oftentimes it's really not the opening. But of course it depends. Yeah, people are different, and there are even there are differences also from country to country. For example, I think that most German players are actually quite well booked up. They know stuff, yeah, more than some other. In other countries, the opening knowledge is not that great. Bishop d6, yeah. Rook d7 is going to play knight e5. That I didn't have on the radar. Yeah, I mean, it's all good for me. I have 97. It's not really such a big deal. I just felt that I should have something even better. I cannot go queen e6. That's a bit of a pain. How do I do that? I wanted to go queen e6, but now I see I cannot do that. Okay, anyway. I totally screwed that up, which is a really, really annoying. Always hate to lose against those losing openings that just don't work. Ah. I wanted to go queen e6, but it didn't work. As you see, the openings don't matter. I mean, the opening he played like a 1500, and then then I screwed it up. What now? Am I winning on time, or what's going on here? Oh, now he played. Yeah, I needed to try. Now I completely relied on knight e6, yeah, and I was queen e6. I just have to check this just briefly. Yeah, here this is a bit awkward. That's a bit awkward here. I wanted to go queen e6, but that just doesn't work. Yeah, and like around here, it's just completely terrible for black. And I probably missed some way to win immediately. I can always just win material. Knight c7 or something should win. But yeah, that wasn't good. Okay, now what is the time looking like here? Like I just got 10 minutes left roughly. So I did lose a game at the end. Deservedly so. That was kind of terribly played. Okay, now wait. No, okay, now. Yeah, objectively worse. It's going for collie opening. In a similar position, I once saw Richard Rapport playing g5, which looks crazy. That's not my kind of chess. Yeah, White's position is super solid, yeah. Just everything neatly centralized. This looks a bit strange, I know, but this is an idea that I once had in a game, and I keep repeating it, somehow annoying him on the long diagonal. I don't know, it doesn't have a really great concept behind it, but it doesn't take, interestingly enough. Okay. Hoping for this kind of structure. So that I can take with the knight at the end and reach an IQP position. This is definitely fine for black. I don't think I'm better or anything, but it's good. It's a good position. Okay, I need to trade one rook, I guess. And now travel all the way to d7 with the king and see if I can do something about it here with the IQP. What is a little bit helpful, that the bishop is not so great on g3. It should rather be... Oh, that's true. That's true. He stops king e8. Nah. Maybe I should have gone to f8. Sometimes it's an idea to just attack the pawn, not like play fancy maneuvers around it, just attack it. It could be one of those cases. Wow. Why can I not take it? I think I can. Yeah, there's this idea of attacking the IQP instead of blocking it is something that is still a bit underestimated somehow. I think we still have some German listeners there. I once had a training session and somebody somehow it got to that subject. Yeah? Should you block the IQP or should you attack it? And of course it depends on the position, but I said like blocking the IQP is a little bit like playing football like the Uwe Seeler Traditionsmannschaft. I think the German listeners will kind of understand what I mean. Rook c8 after bishop c7. That's possible. Ollie, you could be right. All right, is there... Wait, let me check if I've got a 3-minute game. Let me check. No, that's a non-premium. Manuel Prieto. Oops, let me check. Let's go Manuel. He's been challenging for a while. And yeah, that's going to be the final game, I guess, yeah, if I'm right. When does the Blitz start? In 30 minutes, huh? At 4. I'm looking forward to that. Blitz, over the board Blitz on that level is, I think, fantastic to watch. Could watch that really all the time. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, football is coming up. That's true. I think this is very dangerous for white. Now there's queen f6 on the cards, double attacking the rook, and queen f2 mate. Queen f6 is still an idea. After something like queen d3, I can first cover. Now, this is interesting. Is there something better than just grabbing the rook? I can take f2, huh? It seemed it kind of shocked him. I'm just going to get a pawn there and then take the rook. Looks fine, doesn't it? Isn't it? Doesn't it? No, doesn't it? Just have to make sure that I'm not kind of trapping the queen. I self-trap the queen or something like that. Now if I can take e4 and c1, but my rook is hanging, which is not so good. I take e4, I got no way to cover that. Bishop b2, I can still take a2. It's still a bit tricky, huh? Does he have maybe knight c3 intending bishop b2? That could be very tricky. I don't know. Yeah, it could still be quite tricky. Yes. Maybe I have to like take here, yeah? And then some bishop move, bishop f6, bishop d4. Yeah, bishop f6, there was still bishop b2. Now I can check here. Give me the e1 square. He had bishop b2 maybe, yeah? Something was wrong. I did something wrong for sure. This shouldn't have happened. This is still not clear because there's this, yeah, I've got this weird rook and so on. Come on, I'm just going to take this now. Give him the rook. So that I can finally get something developed. Okay. Finally, this piece is doing something. Now, how do we win? Yeah? This one? I have to keep in mind that this is increment, so I cannot just flag. Yeah, that should do the trick. Rook d2 is coming. Yeah, and he lost on time. Yeah, thanks for the game, Manuel Prieto Martin. Alright, that was the warm-up show, or the warm-up shows, if you count the German one before, for this coming Blitz event from the Ivory Coast, from the Grand Chess Tour. Yeah, thanks a lot for watching the shows. I'm happy with all the viewers on the different platforms. We've got those multiple platform streams now, which is nice. Yeah, I'll be back on Wednesday, so it's not going to be such a long wait. Wednesday at 7:30 in the evening for the German show, and then the English show 90 minutes later. The usual time and place. Thanks a lot for watching. Have a good weekend. Bye bye.